Hi guys, I'm Richa and today we're making another easy appetizer for your dinner party. These are my chickpea tikka masala puffs. They come together really quickly. There is no sauteing involved, no standing around in the kitchen. Just mix your tikka masala sauce in a bowl, add some chickpeas and vegetables, roll out your puff pastry sheet, add the chickpea vegetable mixture to the puff pastry sheet and shape those puff pastry sheets into whichever shapes you like, bake them and done. These are super simple, they're crispy, crunchy, they have this delicious tikka masala sauce with lots of spices and they will vanish really quickly. We are on an appetizer roll on the blog this year. Check out my other easy appetizers for your dinner parties, whether it's an Indian dinner party, your Thanksgiving get together, or a regular dinner party. Do try out my chili garlic tofu puffs, my Jalapeno Popper pinwheels, my Samosa Pie, the Kachori Pinwheels, and so many more. Those are linked in the post below. So let's make these easy chickpea tikka masala puffs. It's a tongue twister, I tell you. Let's make these chickpea tikka masala puffs. First, take out your puff pastry sheets from the freezer. Let it sit on the counter to thaw. Depending on your speed, if you can prep it within 20 to 25 minutes, this is perfect time. If you're not sure about that, then take the puff pastry sheet out of the freezer only when your filling is ready. Get all the spices together, the yogurt, the tomato puree, the chickpeas, chop up the vegetables, chop up the aromatics. Then in the bowl, add in your canned tomato puree, your non-dairy yogurt, add in all of the spices, salt and sugar. That's your coriander powder, cumin powder, Kashmiri chili powder, cardamom, garam masala, dry fenugreek leaves, and onion powder. Mix that in. Add in some lime juice to enhance the tang. Tikka masala sauces are tangier than your butter chicken sauce, so you want to add some tang. If you don't like too much tang, just omit the lime juice. You can taste this mixture and adjust for salt and flavor. Add in some more heat if you like. Add in some cayenne for extra heat. Then fold in the chickpeas, add in the chopped onion, green chili, bell pepper, cilantro into this mixture and toss well to coat. Now this filling is ready and you can stuff this into your puff pastry sheet. You can also use phyllo to make these into phyllo cups. You can use a muffin tin and line up the phyllo, brush with some butter and bake them so that they get a little crispy. Then add the chickpea filling, top it with some cheese and bake again. They will be in a nice handy form to serve. You can also do the same thing with the puff pastry sheets. Today we're just rolling out our thawed puff pastry until it is about 1 to 2 inches larger than its usual size, then slicing it up into 6 equal squares and then topping it with the chickpea mixture. Now you can add some kind of cheese here. You can add some vegan mozzarella cheese or add a little bit of vegan cream cheese to these puffs as well. But don't forget to brush all the edges of the puff pastry sheet with my pastry wash, which is just non-dairy milk and maple syrup mixed in. This will help the puff pastry seal really well as well as get nicely golden brown. Then seal the puffs and place on a parchment lined baking sheet. Preheat your oven if you haven't already. Brush each of these puffs with your pastry wash again and top them with some sesame seeds or nigella seeds or any other topping that you like. Then bake them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 to 35 minutes depending on your oven. Check at the 25-minute mark if they're getting nicely golden. Just turn the sheet around so that they can get evenly golden. Check after another 5 minutes if they're evenly golden and then remove them from the oven and serve. They're best served warm right out of the oven because the tikka masala sauce will be bubbling and nice and creamy. The pastry will be nice and flaky, but you can make these ahead as well. They'll stay nice and flaky for the next hour or so, so make them ahead and then serve them as needed. To make these far ahead, make these puffs and shape them and then refreeze them for up to 2 months. Remove them from the freezer when needed and bake them, and that's it. You can change up the sauce by changing up the spices. You can change up the protein, add some cubed or torn tofu instead of chickpeas, or add some white beans or chickpea tofu or vegan chicken for a chicken tikka masala kind of puff. Now here are some tips on working with puff pastry sheets. Puff pastry sheets can be a little touchy depending on how you treat them. If they get too warm, they will not get as flaky. If they're too cold, they'll rise unevenly and so on. My number one tip is to roll out the puff pastry sheet a little bit. That helps to even out the sheet as well as make a flakier pastry. Then number two is to not let the puff pastry sheet get too warm. That will also affect how flaky it is. We made 2 batches of these because I was trying out different shapes in the first batch and the second one was more a closed batch. You can see from the first batch that the puff pastry sheet did not get as flaky as the second one because this got a little bit too warm. The third one is to figure out what shapes of the puff pastry sheet you want to make based on your filling. For a filling like my Jalapeno Popper dip kind of filling, that works in a pinwheel format because it's a pretty thick filling. For a filling where your sauce is going to be bubbling and oozing out of your pie, you want to use a shape which will kind of hold all of the filling inside. A more folded and sealed version works out much better than the more open version. This one opened up because we didn't seal the top really well, so it'll open up during baking. It also dries up the filling a little bit in between. I mean, it's still pretty saucy, and you don't necessarily need a dip, but if you do need a dip, you can make my butter chickpea sauce and serve that on the side. That sauce is amazingly delicious. Let me know in the comments if you tried this recipe or any of my appetizers. Also, please don't forget to review it on my website. The reviews really help the readers choose and decide on which recipe they want to try. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.